Hello everyone, Digfig here, and welcome back to some more of the Outer Worlds Peril on Gorgon. We left off just kind of looting up. We just arrived down here on the Gorgon Asteroid. Did shop at this guy, but we didn't actually check out his dialogue. So this is Gorgon.
You mean you came out to this asteroid without knowing nothing about it? Me too. Heard it was wild here and couldn't resist. Trouble is, if you wander off to somewhere you oughtn't be, like way out in Gorgon's farthest reaches, odds are slimmer of your bits finding their way to my pockets. If you want my advice, stick close to the Sprat Shack, unless you fancy having your limbs torn off and eaten.
You know, you mentioned that leg thing getting, that limbs getting torn off thing.
All right, you know you better than I do.
It's true.
Just be sure you watch out for the marauders. That's the #1 thing. Oh, and the Mance. You watch out for marauders, Mance, and Charles from accounting, and you'll probably be fine.
Charles from accounting.
Only the meanest marauder on Gorgon, and also anywhere else. That man is crazier than a bag of canids and twice as likely to bite.
Interesting.
He will bust your head open like an overripe mock apple if he so much as sees you. I ain't joking. He'll snap you in half like stale bread noodles.
Thank you for the warning.
No, you don't get it. Charles from accounting is like... Imagine if you took 3 of the most howling mad marauders you could find and mashed them together. That's Charles.
You mean he's got the strength of 3 men? 0 times 3 is still 0.
That and a rocket launcher.
Go back to the part about a rocket launcher.
Did I not mention that? Right, sorry. He's got a rocket launcher.
Is he any good with it?
I don't know. Hard to guess how many he's killed, given the explosions tend to obliterate any bodies. I'm joking. No one bothers looking for bodies.
I'm starting to wonder if there ain't a person on this rock entirely out of their minds.
Look, long story short, you do not fuck with Chuck. Best to avoid the Marauder camp entirely. That's my 2 bits on the matter.
I mean, I'd fuck with Chuck.
Yeah?
Where'd you say he was again?
The Marauder camp way out to the east. That's what I heard, at least. And I sure hope you're asking so you can keep a safe distance away.
Nope. Take it that evacuation alarm wasn't urgent.
Huh? Oh, you don't gotta worry about that. Something to do with that scrap Project Gorgon from years back. Thanks for turning it off, by the way. I'd have lost my mind if the damn thing had gone on much longer.
Did you stay here for 5 years?
We tried. Couldn't persuade the control terminal to listen. No one round here is particularly mechanically inclined, and no one was gonna shut it down by force. That's for sure. I know, because even Von Hoffman couldn't bash it in. And I seen that tough son of a gun throw a man clean across the Sprat Shack one time like he were a toss ball.
Can you tell me about Project Gorgon?
Spacer's Choice shut it down in a big hurry. From what I heard, some of their folks got left behind even. Don't seem like the project ended well.
Huh. We are dropping frames in OBS, which is not good. But it was only while talking to him. However absurd that is. Why is it this frame? Uses 100% of my GPU. Oh, it's something I'm gonna have to keep an eye on. Gonna be sad if I can't run this game as high as I want to. Did back there, did up here, did around here. I haven't gone up this lift yet. Going up. Anything up on your roof? Anything on that roof? Don't see anything. So we've got serialized law and organization guardian. Cool. Got some 5-0 up in here. Can we get over this? Oh, you did not give me loot that I can't reach, game. Oh, that's some troll. Oh, I don't like that. That's just lazy. Lazy development there. There's no excuse, there's no reason for that. Oops, Sprat. We're supposed to be going in there. All those consoles are broken. Nothing else back there, right? No. Nope. Around here. Hi, other Sprat. People just like looting around here, but with like full bottles of stuff. Who am I to complain, though? Don't see anything else. So I guess we're going in. I wonder if this game has a memory leak or some sort of performance degradation. That means like every few episodes I need to... Yes, let's have a chat, my friend. I don't want to steal things in front of you.
Fine. You're on my list now, bub.
What? What list?
Alright, inspection time. Look at my eyes for as long as you can without blinking. Starting now.
You just blinked.
Good. Look up. Now look down.
Look up, look down.
You're doing swell. Now, name and occupation. Good enough for me. You're cleared to pass. That was a sanity check. If you had changed like the others, it'd be in your eyes. You'd also be drooling, cursing, and making a mess of the place. Welcome to the Sprat Shack. You can head on downstairs.
What do you mean by people had changed?
Every day, salvagers and scrappers set out to comb the ruins and make their fortune. The ones who come back, they aren't always the same men or women who left. They change. Never for the better.
Okay, what happens when they change?
First, they get real twitchy and paranoid, shouting at folks who aren't there. Then they smell like they soiled themselves, on account of how they soiled themselves. After that, they're gone. Nothing but animals wearing human skin. Seen it happen myself. It's never pretty.
Where exactly am I?
This is the Sprat Shack, the most remote watering hole in the system. Rule number 1, no fighting. Rule number 2, wipe your feet on the way downstairs. We're the only hospitable place on this rock. I want to keep it that way. That's why we have rule number 3. When people change, they stay outside, where they belong.
Okay.
Just don't ask me to dance.
I don't want to dance with you. What do you do around here?
Bouncer,
He's a bouncer.
bodyguard,
I knew that.
law enforcer. I make sure the Sprat Shack gets only the highest caliber of clientele.
That's us.
Yes, your presence screams high class.
We get a lot of brand-loyal corporate types, and a lot of cutthroat freelancer types. Both sides have their share of dirty scoundrels. And I hate dirt.
I mean, there's a lot of dirt in this universe, and you're sitting at a dirty table, but it's fine.
This is a sublight bar, so most of our regulars come to plunder the old labs. The facility's locked up behind miles of red tape, so progress is slow. A lot of time to drink and reevaluate, then venture out and try again.
Okay, what do you know about Gorgon?
Something bad happened here. Spacer's Choice was developing chemicals. The kind with nasty side effects. Marauders outnumber the rest of us 10-1. Either they came from Gorgon, or something draws them here. I don't know which is worse. This place is under a dark cloud, stranger. That's all I know. If you want the history of the Sprat Shack, talk to Lex behind the bar.
Will do.
Watch yourself out there.
Sprat Shack. I bet they serve sprats, or do you think they like worship sprats and don't feed you sprats?
Oh, ugh. That smells like Felix's burp.
Ooh.
den of iniquity. How refreshing.
I mean, when you got this many animals running around, it's like a cat bar. There's just cats everywhere. It's gonna smell a bit funky. I adjust myself here when we get to the bottom of the elevator. Having a hard time getting comfortable today.
Are you my agent on the ground?
Smugglers. What's going on back here? Hey, Sprat. Lots of Sprats. Wasn't me. I'm not behind your bar. Bit cartridge. So what dirty little secrets do you have back here? Got some ammo. It's not really a dirty little secret per se. Armor parts. Just ammo. Not seeing any dead bodies or any massacre or anything you're hiding. You didn't see me on that side of your bar. It's our kitchen. Oh boy, this is our kitchen. You guys are gonna do that again to me. Trying to be stealthy here. Nah. Adrena time. Won't mind me just borrowing all of your stuff that I am never going to use, eat, drink, touch, do anything with. I haven't done anything with anything like this the entire playthrough from my previous one to this one. See it. What are you? Oh, I wanted to steal smudge. Signs I'm too much of a loot whore. When the smudge gets my attention. No one saw it. I wasn't in there. Bar patron.
Humbug, Trixie, and worse, a thief. That was my salvage, Trixie. You had no right to it then, and you've no right to it now.
What's going on?
Disagreement between professionals. None of your business.
Aggressive.
I risked my life sneaking around marauders to claim that wreck, and I didn't see your name on it.
Now you've done it. Eat fist.
All right, that's enough. This is a family establishment. You want to make a mess? You make it outside.
But this was personal, Lex. It's a question of salvage. That wreck was gonna make me a fortune.
Technically that's business, not personal. Non-to-Lex, you get that a lot, Tyrant Scrolls around here.
Hey, didn't I warn you about sticking your nose where it doesn't belong?
It's the same fight every day. 5 years we've been at this, and we still can't agree on how to properly tag salvage. Now you two listen, this is my place. While you're in the Sprat Shack, you'll sit quietly, or I'll forbid you to come here at all. Is that understood?
Fair's fair. I'll have a stout, and we'll settle this later on our own terms.
It's no good to leave a fight unresolved. If I don't do something, these two are gonna be at each other's throats.
What do you propose? I could intervene if you like. Good luck with that.
You'd do that for me?
Yeah. Sure, it's kind of what I do for everybody.
Freddy, Trixie, go on and make your case to the generous stranger.
I'll start, seeing as I'm the one who's been most wronged in this equation.
State your names for the tavern.
Oh, very formal. Freddy the Scab, freelancer for sublight salvage and shipping, same as my father before me.
Junkyard Trixie, also a salvage freelancer, though I've been at it longer than Freddy.
So, just up the road and due east of here, there's a shipwreck lodged in the mountainside, right? I staked my claim on that wreck. Then I wandered in for a drink. An hour later, Trixie swaggers in bragging about her salvage. Ugh, the nerve of some people.
What's your side of the story, Trixie? How did you mark the
I
claim?
climbed on top of it and called out in my loudest voice, "Finders keepers!"
I don't know about legal, but it's legit by sublight standards. Assuming anyone was around to hear it, which we can't know for sure.
Someone must have heard me. They just ain't brave enough to step forward and admit it.
Okay, your case isn't winning me over so far, Freddy.
What if I were to sweeten the deal? Say the salvage is mine, and I'll give you a share of the finder's fee.
Bullshit. That ain't fair.
No, it's not. Give me a story and I'll decide what's fair. Neither is this. I rule in Freddy's favor. Robbing the judge, interesting. I rule in Trixie's favor.
When I found the shipwreck, there were no salvage mark. See, the whole area was teeming with bloodthirsty marauders. So I snuck around and added my tag, clear as day, so no drunken idiots could claim the salvage out from under me, Freddy.
For the record, when I heard the marauders coming, I left. Trixie must have set her mark down after me.
Drum your fingers thoughtfully.
Quit leading the prosecution, Hullhead. Anyway, that's my story, sir.
What mark did you leave on the salvage,
I
Trixie?
drew an X in the dirt, with my toe.
Oh my fucking god.
Wouldn't surprise me in the least, but that doesn't mean it ain't mine.
In all my years, I've never heard a more contentious argument. I don't envy your shoulders for bearing the weight of responsibility. You've heard it from them both. So, who gets the salvage?
Freddy claimed it. It's his by law, Trixie. Freddy tried to bribe me, so I rule in Trixie's favor. These idiots don't know how to tag salvage, so I rule in no one's favor. Number 4.
That ain't no kind of fair.
He ain't even from around here, Lex.
Here's a 6-pack on the house, plus your fee. Maybe now we'll finally get some peace around here for a change.
Glad to be of service to you around. Does this happen
A
often?
little too often if you ask me, but that's the sublight way. Anything worth doing is worth fighting over.
Glad to be of service.
Come and chat if you're ever feeling thirsty.
Oh, I will.
That's my captain.
Very diplomatic, Captain. Though fighting would be preferable to another conversation such as that.
Oh, that's arguably true.
Strangers? Some of them are looking at us like...
I'm gonna love this place.
I'm assuming they don't like strangers. Just
Lunar Eclipse Mix. It's just pep pills and a 2-hour energy brew. My ex used to have them with breakfast.
Oh yeah. Whatever happened to that guy?
where he had a heart attack and died.
He wouldn't take his hat off in the bedroom.
Wouldn't take his hat off in the bedroom, so you broke up with him. Okay.
You don't look like one of the salvagers, no? Don't really seem like the type. You've got the look of someone who's traveled far to get here, and whose journey is far from over.
Both true. What makes you say that?
Confidence. The scavengers around here, they're faking it. You're the real deal.
It's
I
true.
don't know if you're bound for the old ruins, but in case you are, can you look into something? I'd do it myself, but of course, the marauders would eat me alive.
Happily. Depends on what you need.
Looking for something out there. Been paying Sublight to help me, but they haven't made much progress.
Sublight wouldn't turn over a rock unless there's salvage underneath it, lulz. Cut to the chase, what are you looking for?
It is to me, but apparently it's junk to Sublight. My husband and I worked on Gorgon during the good times.
Ooh.
Jerome was on maintenance duty. I cleaned out test tubes till they sparkled.
Where were you during the bad times? Know anything juicy about Project Gorgon? Cut the chase. Do you know anything juicy?
That was above my pay grade, but it didn't take a genius to figure out the higher-ups were working on something big. Months after I got out, I saw the advertisements for Adrena time. I just knew. This is it, Leonora. It was all for this.
You think? Where were you during the bad times?
Gorgon. In his final hours, Gorgon was a war zone. Violence broke out in the labs. The hills were full of marauders. You couldn't take a leisurely stroll without an armed escort. When the order came through to evacuate, non-essential personnel drew a lottery to see who would board the first wave of ships. Jerome won. I lost.
Good on him.
As soon as I wasn't looking, Jerome switched our tickets and pushed me to the front of the line. I got to leave. Jerome stayed behind. I never saw him.
I mean, he did the right thing. It was very noble of him.
That Jerome always chose the right thing, even when it got him killed. This place is greedy. Took my Jerome, and it would have taken me too. I just want one thing back. His old hip flask. I gave it to him the day we signed our marriage contract, and he carried it wherever he went. I know it's still here.
What do you think happened to him?
No point in denying it. He died on this rock, likely torn apart by marauders, unless he took care of himself on his own terms. I don't like to imagine what happened, but I know I have to accept it.
She's real. I could keep an eye out for that flask.
You'd really do that for me? Law. And I'll bet you're worth 10 of those sublight sprats. I don't
more
have
than
much,
10.
but if you help me, there's a little set aside for the occasion. Jerome used to drink with his buddies in a small kitchen opposite the maintenance shed. Might be a good place to check first.
Sounds good, thank you. I wanted to ask you something first. Tell me about your time with Gorgon.
The lab coats kept quiet about the project, but the air was charged with excitement. You could feel it wherever you went. They wanted to change the world. A 10-fold boost to worker productivity with no side effects? Who wouldn't salivate at the thought? I don't know what went wrong, but when the shit hit the fan, it sprayed everyone in its path, including me.
Interesting terminology. But on that riveting conversation, everyone, we're looking for a flask, but we are out of time for this episode. So I really appreciate it. Do all the YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell notification. Also check out my Twitch stream, and I will see you all in the next episode. Dig Fig out. It's a riveting place here. Still can't wait to see some of the zombies. It's gonna be a bit sketch, but we'll get there.